there's a couple that came in as suggestions that are quite good. One of them is called One Arts by Elizabeth Bishop. That was from Anna, a former contributor, Anna Lockhart from issue 9. Another was a short story called Snow, Anne Beatty. That was from Kaylee Spallin, contributor, issue 11. Like I said, our contributors came in strong today. Snow, it's a very short story. That's a good one. And a poem, it takes a little bit of searching, but I did find it online. It's a short prose poem. And this one I really liked. It's called Here We Are. The author is Lauren K. Wattle, or Watel, Lauren K. Wattle. That suggestion was from Erica Avey, previous podcast guest, Erica Avey. So Here We Are is another great breakup prose poem. That one in itself has the nice winter imagery that is so familiar to any good breakup poem. And that one reminded me of another winter themed breakup poem called A Winter's Tale by D.H. Lawrence. So that's a nice one to check out.
Right.
As another one.
I was going to say another poem by D.H. Lawrence also. It's called The Mess of Love, that I think is very effective as well. It's also very raw, but I have it here if you want.
We got another, and by D.H. Lawrence, we have a D.H. Lawrence connection. All right. And I'll just mention the last suggestion, then you could read that one. The Home Burial, Robert Frost. And that was from Valentina Grenier, another former contributor, issue 9. So thank you to all our former contributors who are offering breakup poem suggestions for me, and very much appreciated, and some quite good suggestions at that. I don't think there was a bad poem in the bunch. So yeah, you got a D.H. Lawrence, so why don't we go with that one?
Oh yeah, I have a D.H. Lawrence, and I was going to talk about art as well. Just one image of an art history.
Perfect.
That I will show you after the poem. So this is called The Mess of Love. It's by English poet D.H. Lawrence, who was born in 1885, died in 1930, some time ago. Okay, we've made a great mess of love since we made an ideal of it. The moment I swear to love a woman, a certain woman, all my life, the moment I begin to hate her, the moment I even say to a woman, I love you, my love dies down considerably. The moment love is an ununderstood thing between us, we are sure of it, it's a cold egg, it isn't love anymore. Love is like a flower, it must flower and fade. If it doesn't fade, it's not a flower. It's either an artificial rag blossom or an immortal for the cemetery. The moment the mind interferes with love, or the will fixes on it, or the personality assumes it is an attribute, or the ego takes possession of it, it is not love anymore. It's just a mess. And we've made a great mess of love. Mind perverted, will perverted, ego perverted love. I mean, this is very raw and tough as well, but it's an interesting point of view, right?
You said this was D.H. Lawrence?
D.H. Lawrence, yes.
Can I have the title one more time?
It's called The Mess.
A Mess of Love?
The Mess of Love.
I would describe that as one of the most clear poems where the mission statement is so overt, and yet it's still almost heartbreaking. Like I winced a little bit. I was like, oh, the cold egg. Oh, the cold egg. Wow.
You don't want to hear this stuff. That when someone breaks up with you, don't want to hear this stuff. This is too much. Yeah, it's definitely
really good.
Yeah, but definitely effective. Wow. Let's put it this way. So the other thing is I actually have an artwork from art history, okay? and I printed it out. So I said, I'll show it to you. So we talked about literature and poetry and all this stuff. But I was thinking maybe in art, like break up images in art. So I did print it out, and I was going to give you actually guys a quiz, a little bit of a quiz. So kind of an interactive like questionnaire here.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, and I could post the image when I post the episode. I can post it also. So yeah, go ahead.
Well, this one it's a painting. Do you guys can you tell who the artist is? Already a dead artist, but a very famous artist. No, it's Henri Matisse.
Would not have guessed as a Matisse. All right.
Yeah, it's not a typical Matisse.
Yeah.
Let's just put this one. But it's done earlier. Okay. So now, so it's a Henri Matisse painting. So what do you guys see?
Pajamas.
Pajamas.
The guy's in his pajamas, like those match. That's
Robe.
a nighttime thing, and she looks dressed up out to go. I don't know what that's all
I
about.
don't know. I was going to say it's she was wearing a robe, so I don't know if it kind of appeared as a dress to you.
Yeah, well, immediately he's confused and befuddled, and his pajamas, and she while she's beneath him, she still seems superior to him somehow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
She's sitting beneath him, but yes, look at his posture. It seems like she's got control of the situation, especially because he's got his hand in his pocket.
Oh, the pocket. Because the lines are so straight. Yeah, because he's so straight up, right? But
I saw the line to delineate the shirt from the pants. So no, that's not a suit. I feel like he's not going to do well in the situation.
Yeah.
So you're getting somewhere, Chris. You're getting somewhere. Very good. So the title of this piece is called "The Conversation." Okay. So what kind of conversation do you think they're having? Anna? Aaron?
Anna, you need participation points.
Yeah,
I have a lot to say.
I don't know. I feel like that it's so I'm not getting the same reading of her necessarily, if that even is a woman. I don't know. Gender is weird. I feel like that is it a woman? I don't know.
I mean, his work is very kind of like it has this naive quality to it, but it's his wife.
I think that she looks pretty masculine. I think it's interesting that she is seated, because that, I don't know, that is a less powerful position. And I think the way that her head is tilted up is
what are you saying? That's what I'm thinking.
I think the way that her head is tilted up is not acquiescent, is sad. Acquiescent, sad. You know, I don't read her in the same powerful way as you two men read her.
Well, let me give a counter argument to my own, which is she's "How dare you?" But either way, it looks like she's still kind of doing something strong. Maybe he's come in with a conversation that's serious. But either way, she's not cowering. She's not.
No, she's not cowering. But
a defiant thing happening.
It's it's possible that he's the wrong party, and she's the wrong.
Very
party.
good, very good.
Yeah,
and they both seem trapped. Seems like someone is gonna have to leave.
Yeah.
Looks very plain on the inside. I have to say, it doesn't look too appealing on the outside either.
Well, just also the window is kind of like artificially like between them, the space between the man and the window and the woman and the window is just kind of like, they're kind of too artificially spaced out. So it's an uneasy, it creates a sense of uneasiness, just the composition of the two figures and the window, plus one seated, one standing.
Right.
There's a unsettling
maybe it's
element there. And but as you said, Anna, outside is just kind of like it doesn't quite, the perspective doesn't quite like look right. It's just kind of, it's too flat. It's too it's like a painting.
I don't know if you bleep swear words, but the depth of field is fucked.
You've been here long enough that you know what to say. We're free to say whatever we want.
There's no distance plane.
Right, yeah. Okay,
There's a
yeah,
picture behind a picture.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Thing. So basically, all of your observations are right on. So this is basically a breakup kind of thing. Like the marriage is over, and they're having a conversation about it. And he decides to make a painting out of it. I think she'll feel good about that. I don't think so. Yeah, you can tell that this marriage is not
Did he
going
make the
very well.
painting?
Is this like an autobiographical?
No. I mean,
No.
this painting is a painting that I looked at, and he left his wife. Let's put it this way: he left his wife to go to the French Riviera and to be an artist. So here you see that things are not going very well between them, visually at least. You know, we can tell that the psychology here in the piece is not good. He's standing, he's trying to tell her something, just maybe she's like trying, oh, let me sit, or oh my God, what are you trying to tell me here? You know, so he's like, I'm leaving you, you know. And then also it says a lot about their marriage, which apparently wasn't going very well, you know, so that's why he's leaving. But then if you look at the window, so if you were very right on, Anna, with the whole thing that she's sitting down, looking up, trying like, what are you saying? You know, and he's standing up in his pajamas, and the pajamas back then and around that time were like the silk pajamas that were really in on society men all the time, even for like, you know, just showing off. So he's kind of like, and yeah, so in a way he seems like this figure that's trying to tell her something, but also the sternness of the whole, you know, the stripes, the blue room, which is kind of like a sad color usually. And then outside there's a garden, not inside, but outside there's a garden. That tells you a lot about that their relationship is not blooming anymore. It's not blossoming. But maybe if they look outside, or if they go outside of this marriage, it might, you know, they might have a good life. And but then also, I don't know if it was intentional or not of Matisse. Maybe it was a subconscious thing, the whole thing, because a lot of artists do a lot of things subconsciously in their artwork without even knowing that their subconscious is telling them something, and it just kind of like comes through them into the artwork. So if you look at the barbed wire kind of, not barbed wire, but the kind of like the iron here with the nice kind of fencing, if you read that carefully, it's more like, people don't really read it, but it says the word non in French, N-O-N, which basically means no, this relationship is not going anywhere. No go. No go. I don't know, honestly, if he meant to do it, but maybe he didn't. Maybe he just, it happened. And a lot of, as I said, artists do things like that. So I do think that this is a very powerful work of art with an art history that also kind of embodies relationships and also the end of relationships too. But I think also the fact that she's wearing black, that tells you that it's the morbidity of it, kind of the end of the marriage, the death of the marriage, more or less. And yeah, so I do think that this is quite an interesting piece, work of art to share with the, you know, the readers or the viewers, so they can see something visual that translates into a breakup.
That's one I was not familiar with that one. So that's
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are. I mean, I've seen this because I do teach Matisse to my students, and I've actually looked at it and made my own analogy, and then read about his biography, and I'm like, wow, this piece has so much to it. And the more I look at it, the more I see. Today, for example, I just said she's wearing black. I didn't notice that before. But in a way, I think throughout Matisse's, yeah. And it's interesting that he's also looking outside of the window, because most of his work is kind of like that. He had a beautiful apartment in the French Riviera. We live in Nice, and looking outside, you've got a nice, beautiful promenade and everything. So he most of his artwork was inside, looking outside, and you see it in this work as well. So,
moment you said barbed wire and the color black, the two things, like obviously the window became a much bigger barrier because you used the word barbed wire, and suddenly I saw how important the barrier was between the two people. Right. And when you said black, I saw the around the eyes, maybe eyeshadow, but
you're
almost like a mask.
Very good.
And so suddenly the eyes popped out at me as being very, very weirdly dark.
Yeah.
I guess you're using those two words and like, oh, I'm zooming into different stuff. Black and barbed wire, like I see the picture in a totally different way.
I think also, even though he's got these kind of rigid stripes on his pajamas, the fact that he's wearing pajamas and that they're, silk or whatever, indicates his free bohemian
Right.
nature, whereas she's in this kind of like stiff looking.
Right, yeah, very much. Or
Yeah.
maybe things are not really going well in the bedroom. That could be it too.
You could do a very clean Freudian reading of that. Like, oh, they're not having fun.
Something's not right there. So they want to look, I guess, like a blooming garden.
Right.
That.